So we have one more best of 5 to cast here. This could be more one-sided, guys, and I'll tell you why once we launch the first game here. It's John Nash versus Bluegill. Let me pull the ranks of the players here. So these guys, they are 300 elo points apart currently. Now, because maps can offset this. Some players are arena specialists, right? Or some kind of map specialists, so they can match up with that. Thanks for that, Lloydie. I appreciate that for sure. I can't unpause. That's fun. Funny. Yeah, all the civilizations are allowed there. They're asking if they can use the new civilizations. Pole's recent addition to Age of Empires 2 as a yeah, downloadable content extra package. I don't actually know what DLC stands for. But they introduced two new civilizations in August this year for our freaking 22-year-old game now, which is awesome. New content, new playstyles, new shakes things up. And since they both have the new civilizations, this isn't going to be an issue. They both have access to them. So for the next game, we'll see John Nash with the Poles and Bluegill with the Persians. So there's a 300 elo points difference between them here. I'm not going to say too much about this, but yeah, Bluegill is. I could introduce the players John Nash I know from other tournaments, and is yeah, climbing the ladder. The rankings seems to have stabilized in the 1500s now. So obviously a solid player with good experience has shown some very nice defense on these arena games so far. While Bluegill is claims to have reached 1800 elo through memeing, which is actually kind of true. I think. I don't think he'll be memeing too much here at the high level, but he's still some solid points above John Nash in terms of pure skill level. So we'll see how it plays out, of course. But I'm not going I don't know the results. I asked them to send 5 games. It could go either way. It could go. Either of those players could still win, and yeah, maybe we'll see some proper arena clowning here, some innovative playing. So as far as civilizations go, Poles' new civilization, they have some interesting things going for them. They gain gold through stone mining as well. So when you mine gold as the Poles, you get 50% gold in addition to the stone you collect. So say you collect 100 stone, you also get 50 gold instantly in the bank. So that's obviously great for any map. But in Pole's case, that facilitates the placement of your first castle, which is good for defensive or offensive purposes. But it also doesn't compromise your gold income nearly as much as with other civilizations. And Poles being kind of a cavalry civ, they'll want that castle app because when in Castle Age you can research the unique technology for Poles, which will allow the Poles to produce knights at a reduced gold cost. Your knights will cost 60% less gold, which means that you can spam out knights at a ridiculous price. But it's an investment. You still need economy behind this, right? You need golds, you need food, you need everything. Now you see Bluegill here going straight to stone. This is indicative of it depends on the feudal age timing here, but this could be a tower rush. Could be a tower rush. And a unique building for the poles as well. The Folwark, it replaces the mill. It provides one, no, it provides 5 population spice, just like a house. Spice. Beginning to sound British, eh? No, not really. I'm Norwegian, not British. And when you place farms around this folwark, you'll gain an instant food boost to your farms. I don't remember the rate right now, but it's like 25 food or something for each farm you place, or 20 food or some kind of number. So that boosts Poland's early food economy as well. So actually, instead of placing the first few farms around the town center, I would place, yeah, exactly. I would do like Blue Gill is doing here, and place the first few farms around the bulwark. And now look at the food here. The farms should contain some food, but once the farm completes, you should be getting a food increase here. Yeah, it's like 41 to 77. I can't, probably some meat here. Yeah. 20 something, I think you get per farm. But it's a fairly new civilization, so players may not have figured it out completely yet. Only stone from Dougal here, but he already has the 200 gold to click up. Now for John Nash, his Persians. Once he gets to the next stage, his town center will start working 10% more quickly, 15% faster in the Castle Age, and 20% faster in the Imperial Age. So needless to say, Persians have a great boom for Arena, but they also have some weaknesses. They don't get fortified wall, so they can't reinforce their walls other than stone walling behind for extra protection. But they have a great boom, and they also have access to Campbells and Knights and heavy cavalry paladin, things you need to counter a heavy cavalry push from the poles. Bluegill is up. Let's see what's up to here. He's mined 500 stone so far as well. And will be beaten to the cast stage click here by John Nash, I think, depending on John Nash's buildings here. It's blacksmith going up, market going up. We'll have no trouble with the resources here. We're going to be a 28 or 29 builders up here for John Nash in the end, I think. While Bluegill will click up once the stable and the cancel the villager. He's going to go a little bit idle here on the town center. He'll force drop some food and go up to the castle age once he has 800 food. Persians are solid if played correctly. I agree. It's not your go-to arena civ, mainly or partly because of the monks being having very few options compared to other civilizations, but their boom obviously speaks to their advantage on arena. Chasing the scout here, not taking the fight. John Nash is playing it safe. Wants the scout to have full hit points to keep and contest the map control instead. And the up timings here with the castage are only going to be... it's actually half a minute apart here. On the same popular. How does that adapt? Did someone get? Did John Nash get loom, or what happened? No. What am I missing here? It's 27 pop for both. There's 2 seconds apart in the IMT's time, and yet still there's. I guess the time they clicked up to the cat age is the difference here, but. Huh. Hmm. Blue Galactus Scouts wants to contest the map here and gather those relics as it's customary on Arena. Is also with enough stone to drop a castle, which will be needed for the unique technology for the Poles to play their mass cavalry, and also have access to the unique unit, the Obuch, an infantry unit that essentially strips the opponent units of armor. One armor per attack strike, basically. It's an interesting mechanic to a unit as well. Instant second town center for John Nash, and potentially a third one once wood allows as well. No, not really. Going for the monastery instead to pick up the relics here. Bluegill. This looks like a forward castle drop to me. 3 villagers, 4 villagers. It's ambitious to say the least, and John Nash has army out, has some spearmen out. Bluegill seems awfully confident here to try for the cattle drop with John Nash with army on the field. But here comes the cattle. Classic arena playing here with a forward castle. Going to apply some pressure on the opponent, denying some gold here. I guess Blue Guild's castle could have been... Yeah, he doesn't know much about the map inside here, but if you'd been lucky and placed the castle here instead, he might actually range the main goal of John Nash. There's still gold in the back to be taken though. And John Nash responds with a defensive castle here on the gold, on the main goal. Nice, that keeps this gold safe, and it should keep any aggression from Blue Gill out as well. Why no tower? Yeah, I mean this castle doesn't, as John Nash says, it doesn't do too much. It doesn't really deny anything. It allows Blue Gill to take this forward goal. That's basically the only thing here. Taking some, but what it does though for Bluegill is force a reaction, force the defensive castle. It Joldash may have planned to place. Regardless, it delays the boom a little bit here, but they're both on two town centers, so it doesn't matter that much. They want to contest the middle. Bluegill should be able to pick up all the relics here, which will give a nice gold boost for later. But as far as that unique technology goes, I think that's 500 food, 400 gold, or something like that. So you'll need to you won't be able to afford the technology for the cheaper knights just yet. I'm not sure what the idea of this forward castle is for Bluegill, other than to potentially break through and raid like a madman with cavalry later on. Really collecting the relics now, third town center up for Bluegill as well, so he's going to gain a bit of a boom lead here, while John Nash is just fortifying or reinforcing the walls behind here with houses, as you'll need to place houses anyway to support your army and villagers, in this case mostly villagers. Could be that John Nash is staying 2 TCs partly because of the faster town centers of the Persians as well. But it's actually not producing builders at all right now, so maybe it's going to rush Imperial Age and contest the forward cattle instead. I don't know what the plan is here. But it just looks like purposeful idling to get to the Imperial Age and be done with the forward castle here. Poles also, their strong suit is in the Castle Age, more so than in the Imperial Age, because they lack the last armor for the cavalry, and they don't get paladin, so their cavalier aren't anything special. Here comes a university. I guess Rodnash wants chemistry in the Imperial Age to have the option of. I think Persians get bombard cannons, but yeah, they most definitely get chemistry if they want to go for trash balls. Not that that applies here, but fast in trash balls. Let's go. Yeah, that would be a true arena clown play to do. Except you don't need imp for trash balls though. But John Nash has a great head start to the Imperial Age here, should deal with this forward castle no problem. Bluegill mainly in boom mode, and maybe relying on ridiculous cavalry masses here to turn things around. So good reaction so far. Yeah, you need it from chemistry and traps, very true. Battle used to play 2 TCs a lot. Okay. Impotent Crab is out, of course. No trash balls for now. But Masonry for the buildings, Chemistry as well for, yeah, later on. Yeah, Metal is a legend. Salty, okay. I think Spring actually walled Metal in on Arabia once or something like that. I think that's happened. So, but that would certainly cause some saltiness. Yeah, obviously Bluegill doesn't want to do anything about this castle going down. That is practically dead. Placing castle at home instead. I guess he might not have gotten around to that unique technology yet. This obviously prevents or protects a lot of the eco should the base be breached as well. So it's a preemptive decision here to protect the main gold and the arms in the back here and whatnot. But John Nash is in the Imperial Age. He's making monks now. Trebs and monks. Is this turning into a ranges as well? Fast imp or fast-ish imp, hand cannoneer, trebs, and monks here. Wow. Persian monks. Persian monks, ladies and gentlemen, they are among the worst in the game, but I do think they get block printing at least. So that helps a little bit with the extra range. Then they have 9+3 range, if you get it. Hi, buddy. And Bluegill, as said, is in boom mode still, placing another defensive castle, but there are trebuchets out on the field. Hand cannoneers are out to take the units out on the field here. I guess the knights will snipe that one unless John Nash manages to pull it back in time. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. He could convert the knights now, actually, if the monks catch up here. Close, close. This is fine. This is fine. I think John Nash may be out-memeing Bluegill here with the Persians against the Poles here. It's gonna go straight for the gate, is that it? Gonna find a way through here with the hand cannons, the traps, the monks, the everything here. And a newly acquired converted knight as well. Wait, is that... No! There's walls behind this, right? Yeah, there's walls. There's stone walls behind, so no big worries there, no big concerns. Bluegill still has 1 minute 50 to go for the Imperial Age, and tell me this is... that's not the MTC, that's good news. Otherwise that could be a potential disaster, but the wall will be breached, the gate rather. Quite a sizable chunk of hand cannoneers here, monks as well, and 3 trebs now to push. Full metal jacket. Yeah, that market's not gonna last you long. You could just trap that down. The foundation has 1 fireball from the trap, and that one is dead. So this is the first time John Nash is challenging a higher rated player in the Shikari League, which I casted as well. 1 match John Nash played versus tongue twister. Oladeshek, who is currently in the high 1700s, low 1800s 1v1. So he's also a very solid player. And John Nash beat him 2-1 in a series also involving random Civ and reverse. Admittedly on Mega Random as the first map, so that was one of the crazy sets here. I love the hand cannoneers actually, because that renders the Obuch, the unique unit of Bluegill, almost useless. They're still going to take the armor off the hand cannoneers here, but who cares? The hand cannoneers will slay them. How did John Nash even predict this? That's a brilliant call to go for the hand cannoneers in Imperial Age. Maybe you thought that they would come into play, I don't know. Another TC is trying to go up here. Forward castle for John Nash now, and providing protection for the armies here. Obuch unique unit of the poles. It will take out one army of armor of the units it hits per hit until it goes down to almost negative. So new build TC, that's going to go straight down. They trade ridiculously quickly though, the Obuch. And another castle goes out in the back as well. Bluegill not struggling for gold here because I think Mine Stone is getting... as Mine Stone it gets gold through that as well. Thought HC better than Exposable Threat. Yeah. So I guess Trash Bombs will also serve a similar purpose against the hand cannoneers. And looking at the wood count here would be even easier to mass as well. But obviously hand cannoneers about the same range but much higher damage output and probably bonus damage against the infantry as well. Oh, this looks dangerous though. Could be some dead preps. Hand cannoneers out of position. Bluegill is going to get one. Two, is it three? It's getting all the traps here. Bad news, bad news. And again, these Obuch, they trade so quickly. It's like 10 seconds or something. One. I think it's 8 seconds. That's crazy. It's crazy. Production time. And Bluegill's base is being reached here. Yeah, he has the relic still. He has the relic gold. Did not relocate them, so it's funny that he still has it here. Bombard cannon, it's out for John Nash in addition to the traps here. A bit more mobility in the bombard cannons than the castle. As Bluegill tries to trebuchet down this castle. And commits to mainly Obuch here, so... Bit on the meme side, of course, going full Obuch here. And it's not that serious of a tournament. Relics lost for Bluegill. John Nash could claim them if he feels he is gonna claim them with the forward monastery here actually, and then just keep the push going. Nice, that's going to provide a little bit of extra income here. We have roughly the same amount of Obuch and hand cannoneers here, and the only advantage being the Obuch have more hit points, but hand cannoneers being the counter unit should deal with this nicely, and with bombard cannons could get some good hits in here on the unit mass as well. Good pressure being applied by John Nash here. Only thing missing is arguably a bit of mobility here to raid further inside, but this is a slow and efficient push. Shouldn't be a problem to close this game out for John Nash. Bluegill is holding, and very nicely at that, but this is a very strong forward push. Alright, Poles get power cannon as well. Now we know that, that's useful. No siege engineers for either player, and this could be a decent engagement for the Obuch. They're going to die to Castle Fire and to hand cannoneers here still, but gets a few pickups here. And Obuch suck. Yeah, it's cool to see them in play though. 1-0 for John Nash there. Maybe a little bit lucky on the hand cannoneers against the unique unit of the Poles here, but who am I to judge? We go, let's have a look at the stats and go to game 2. We have some army domination here before Bluegill gets the Obuch production going, and then loses some, makes more, loses some, makes more, and then bam. Yeah, they don't have that much of an damage output. Their huge thing is stripping the enemy units of armor, so you can't rely on Obuch alone. You need a complementary unit to take out the weakened units that you use the Obuch to focus on. Identical feudal age here, but they both kind of a bit off on the production buildings, or the buildings needed to go up to the next stage, so that slowed them down a bit, I guess. Better boom, better eco, I'd assume, for Bluegill, but not enough to hold off the Persians forward here. Let's see what the reversed civs bring us here. Okay, so again, same civilizations here. I'm going to take the liberty of some fast forward here since we're seeing the same civilizations, same map. and see what they bring us this time around. We saw Bluegill with the poles the previous game go straight for stone and the castle drop, while John Nash may have other plans here. Again, these are fairly new civilizations, so the players may not necessarily have figured out the meta or what to do yet. And poles, they certainly have lots of potential. They have arbalests, so they have them almost fully upgraded, only missing the last armor. So that could be a play here against the Persians. Or you could go for the crazy cavalry spam in the Castle Age with the unique technology researched, or you could just go boom with economy, able to contest the Persians, I think, with the Polvark and everything, or almost, because of the extra food boost you give that facilitates the boom. And the early eco. Huh? Oh, the sheep. Oh, that's your sheep scouting on arena. New meta. Yeah, we're going to stone. Okay, so they got that figured out. So they're going straight to the stone here because you don't really... Well, John Nash is actually on gold as well. So that's interesting. John Nash is going to be floating gold here upon reaching the next stage. Doesn't really need this one. Let me out scout. Didn't take it out though. 23 pop for both here, but Persians will be going up to the next stage more quickly if they have the resources to advance here. They have 10% faster TC. Oh, I forgot you were cold. Yeah, makes sense. Can't keep track of all the new seeds just like that. Bluegill again playing for the map control here with scouts and spears, while John Nash currently isn't going for the blacksmith market up here and more straight into boom. What's with that? Is he afraid of a castle drop again, or okay, outpost on the edge here. That's but you can afford it, of course, having Mindstone for a long while already. Here comes the monastery for Bluegill as well. And we'll see if Bluegill gets the revenge with the Persians here. It's civilization that should be obviously be more familiar for all players than the just month-old Poles here. Easy in the back here for John Nash. That's the second one. If you go for the monastery, you'll be spending some wood on the monastery. Otherwise, you could go straight for 3 TCs. But obviously, you want to try and contest the middle. Bluegill has the army advantage here, though. So I'm not sure if John Nash can take any relics at all at this point, looking at the way Bluegill is protecting stuff here. He's actually going to try for it. Doesn't really see what's going on here, but now with the monk line of sight, you should back off if you happen to be... Oh, good reaction. No, 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 stupid monk. You stupid old man, just go back inside the gate and you're safe. Okay, yeah, these things happen. Classic. 100 gold down the drain for John Nash for that one. But with a lead, a head start to the multiple town centers here, keeping them producing as well, should be allowing for a... more solid boom here. The wait here costs the third town center for Bluegill as well, so Bluegill with the 15% faster breaking town centers should actually be going out ahead in the villager count here. Collecting all the relics didn't help Bluegill the previous game, but he may have different plans for this one. Mainly playing the boom game here, now no middle aggression, but at least contesting the map in the middle here, of course. And John Nash is just going to give up on the middle and keep on booming instead. Queuing villagers from the newly acquired TCs and getting that bonus food from the farms as the folwarks complete as well. Again, facilitating the pulse boom since you are granted extra food per each farm. Or not extra food, actually. Uh, you are granted instant food from the farms as you see them with the poles, but that food is taken from your farm as you place it. So your farms will actually be depleting more quickly in a sense, but you get an instant food boost, making the triple TC or more TCs boom much more fluent as you place your first farms around the folwarks here. Folwarks also provide housing space, so that saves you a little bit of wood. Again, playing into that ease of farming production for the poles. More to stone now, so we're going to see a castle here, presumably in a defensive spot for John Nash here, maybe for the main goal to keep that safe for a while. And also, of course, to bring in more. Look at him just placing the scouts to guard the walls here just to see if anything is going on. I love that. We'll see the stone mining actually if Bluegill is paying attention over here. All 5 relics now in for Bluegill and a good 3 TC Persian's boom going non-stop here in the villagers production. And now the monks as well. Oh, this is almost to the point of disrespect, man. It gives so much vision on Bluegill's side. On the not John Nash's side for Bluegill. You'll see the gold, you'll see the stone. And who needs outposts when you can just use your leftover scouts like this? And monks. But the castle goes up though, and you can't really see it being built here if you're Bluegill. Maybe he'll see it out. Maybe. Maybe. Oh! I think the monk has the line of sight to see this go up. I think. It doesn't matter that much, but it's funny how these units are mobile outposts. I haven't seen that before. Fletching for John Nash. I think he wants to take out the scouts here, maybe with the. No, he drops it. Never mind. No fletching. Yeah, now he sees it. 78 to 77, they are matching each other in the boom here. Now Jonash wants to try the Obuch unit here and see how that works out here. Maybe it's just making them to snipe the scouts, I don't know. Scouts and monks. Monks could easily convert them, of course. And that was just being annoying. Yeah, gets one. And one monk may go down there. How's it gonna work with Obuch versus Obuch, actually? Yeah, he's dead. He's down. Nice. Persian Obuch. Yeah, we're pulling back. So it's going to be the cavalry play from Bluegill here, and he wants to challenge John Nash playing the trash knight sibs, that is the poles, if you have the unique technology that is. Here comes Bodkin Arrow. Looks like John Nash is not going to play the cavalry at all, but the crossbow into Arbalest here. Lacking the last armor, usually not an issue for archers because you use the hit and run and the range, but should the knights or the Persians, which by the way have +2 attack against archers, get close to the archers of John Nash, preferably to deal with the crossbow masses. Ooh, scouts versus Obuch. That's not gonna end well for the scout. Ooh, excuse me. Rip Monk, but you've served your purpose. You've collected these relics, and now Bluegill is just targeting the monks for the fun of it, and crossbows for the fun of it here. Ooh. My laptop here is telling me I have a network error. I hope. Oh, here comes the castle. Here comes the castle. The castle isn't coming yet. John Nash sees the defensive castle of Bluegill here and actually snipes some builders while they build the defensive castle here. But first, Trebuchet is out, and John Nash is going to target the gate here first, I think. As I mentioned in the previous game, Persians don't get fortified walls, so they can't do much other than, well, they essentially can't upgrade their walls here. And John Nash is not going to go for the gate; he's going to go straight for the castle. But Bluegill is also boosting the doubling up on the cavalry numbers here. It's seen through the arbalest play at this point, and will be going into cavalier and maybe even paladin here with the Persians to deal with the currently on the smaller side numbers of John Nash's arbalest numbers, but 5 ranges producing, and now also going into it. Okay, is it going to be Arb and Cavalier here for John Nash? He's going into the cavalry upgrades as well, and the cavalry is rather cheap for the Poles, so actually that's a viable combination here. Yeah, must have been the internet messing about with. Looks to be stabilized now though, so that's good. That's good. Looks like a bit of frame drops here, but not much I can do about that if it's the internet line. Uh-oh, unprotected trebs, never go in without protection. Not a good idea, the castle stands. But the Arbs will take out some cavalier here. As Bluegill won't be looking at Paladin for a long while yet. He's mining gold both forward and back here, but John Nash is with the middle control here. And has another treb unpacking, hoping to break through here and then allow the arbalists and eventually... Alright, so that's... That's the Pole's unique technology, and I see the Silver Crown, that's the Castle Age technology. So that is the one that allows the cavalry to cost less gold, and it's going to be cavalry at 60% gold discount, 30 gold per night, I think, which is very, very nice for the Poles in order to spam numbers here. But how many stables actually for John Nashi? 1, 2, another one going up at home. Only 3 stables, so you're not going to keep up with the person's cavalry, but the idea is just to have a meat shield in front of the arbalists, I think. So, so that's good news. Score switching, yeah, I don't care that much about score. It's not that... Usually not that important. But the arm numbers are important there. 65 arbalists against 30 cavalier. Bluegill actually can't easily engage against that. He'll need paladin here to comfortably engage against the arbalist. And then there will be poles, not cavalier yet, but knights in front of here to... Yeah, quickly increase in numbers here. And the Arbs, of course, use their 5+3 range to snipe as many Cavaliers as possible. Siege weapons going down here for John Nash, though, so also a good call of Bluegill to snipe the most expensive unit here, the Trebs, with whatever he has at hand. To keep going here. But are certainly working out here. Bluegill might actually need to go into skirmishers here at some point or something to deal with this mass. He does, in a sense, have skirmishers in the Persian's Cavalier, but he needs ridiculously higher numbers to deal with this. Light Cav alone won't do it, of course. And, yeah. You'd almost think that Bluegill was playing Poles here because he's spamming out a lot of cavalry and light cav as well. And Poles with the Imperial Age unique technology has the light cavalry units dealing trample damage or blast damage or something like that. But that's not the case for Persians. Look at the micro though, so much attention to armies, sending one group to deal with the castle drop and one group to try and snipe cavalry here. Lots of action going on here. Should be interesting to see the APM chart. Yeah, John Nash with 90 military APM here. Lots of stuff going on. But this castle is going to go up, and John Nash might lose the forward castle here. So that's obviously not ideal. Now to 39 arbalists here. Remember, Persian's Cavalier, they have bonus attack against archers as well. Bluegill has all 5 relics, so he doesn't need to worry as much about the gold spending here as John Nash does. However, Poles, while mining stone, gets gold as well. So that's indirectly a gold bonus there as well. They are both with Cavalier now, but John Nash is missing lots of upgrades. Pulls the arbalists away now and hoping to re-establish a base somewhere else. It's actually going to take the stone over here to secure more gold trickle income, I guess. These villagers should be going down to the raiding units though. Not replenishing the arms, adding more cavaliers instead, which is about the same gold costs as the arms at this point. But there is wood and gold to justify more arbalists as well if you want to go down that road with poles here. One setback could of course be that you're missing that last armor, so it's not necessarily viable in the very late game here. Ooh. Will this castle go up? How many villagers are building this? It's like 24 villagers. I bet John Nash wishes he were Sicilians here now. He's gonna lose all of them, isn't he? He's gonna lose all of the villagers here building that castle. Oh, so many villagers going down, and the castle stops at 94% here. But here come the arms. They're gonna slay quite a few units here from Bluegill. So that's something, and you just task a few more villagers. Just a few hits away. Big surround here from the Persians cavalry, quite a few cavalier. They have that bonus attack, as Bluegill is getting architecture to boost his building's HP, not including the walls. And there's just cavalry everywhere. Here's the Polish cavalry spam at work here, but Bluegill is matching the numbers and has a large villager lead here, so better long-term economy here should this evolve into a trash war. Considering the lack of pikes on the field there, I'm surprised not to see any camels from the Persians now that John Nash has made the Cavalier switch. But here comes the trash post, chemistry, armor, and yeah, 11 ranges no less for Bluegill. And here comes the last few hits on the castle to finish it for John Nash. And secure some stones and golds on this side. So important for the post to secure stone as well, because that's an extra gold trickle for them. As DC, it seems a bit risky to try and get up at this point. There's buildings blocking the pathing here. And I guess you have cavaliers to justify this still. Even with this gold trickle from stone for the poles, so you're not going to have gold access um, unlimited unless Bluegill with the Bluegill is going to have the potential unlimited gold here, albeit it's a small trickle from the relic, but it is a constant trickle, while John Nash will need to mine gold and so on to keep going, or use the market to sell food. But Cavalier are just so cheap. It's easy to outmass even, yeah, any civ here. Even Berbers would struggle against Poles for the cheaper cavalry that Poles have here. Crashbow, I like that switch though. Even though Bluegill doesn't get Arbalest Persians, he gets... actually, he doesn't get Bracer either, so scratch that. But the point is he can mass crossbows for wood only, which means he will conserve a lot of that relic gold, and he could use the trash bows to take out the Poles Cavalier because they don't have that last armor, and essentially have Castle Age upgrades in terms of defense. So we have no less than 12 ranges here to pump out those units. The unique technology for Persians, Kamandaran, probably researched here already, so they are going to trade very very well against the Cavalier masses here, and they could even take out small numbers of arbs here in the end because of the sheer strength of the numbers of them. They should be able to get close and take out arbs, but yeah, see that still takes a while to take out the Cavalier, but Bluegill will just be pumping out more trash balls here out of all these... most of these ranges, and push back John Nash here. Still 21 on gold for John Nash here, not currently mining gold over here, got raided by some Hussars. I saw some Bomber Cannons a while ago, but they have been dealt with, probably by Bluegill's Hussars or Cavalry somehow here. Ooh. Targeting the outpost, I like it. Trebuchet is out again because Bluegill still has gold access, so you could say that about John Nash as well, but the overall situation is that Bluegill now is pop cap, John Nash at 135. Keep in mind there's a 300 EL difference between these two players, so this is still an amazing hold by John Nash at the current ELO level he's at. Great Hussar raids to the side here. The barracks are up. I'm not sure if Pikeman has been researched, but looks like Poles get full infantry upgrades, so their Pikeman should be decent, even though they don't get Halberdier. Looks like Arbalests are back on the menu, and even more stables going up here for the Hussars in the end. They're queuing scouts currently. Trash Pose versus Arbalests here. Arbalests should win that any day, even though they're missing the last armor here. But Bluegill is only losing wood. John Nash is losing gold for each Arbalest lost here. So the total population is what worries me here. Bluegill has a significant army leader. And he's going Elite War Elephant. Oh, the flex. The ultimate Persian flex going for not just War Elephant, but Elite War Elephant here. Now Bluegill is in the Mimi mood here. He's going into Elite War Elephant. He already has the cavalry upgrades, Bloodlines, Plate Barding, that furnace. And somehow he has had the gold to justify Elite War Elephant here. Bluegill had this in the pocket. He is going to close out this one. Stream buffering. Nothing to do about that. Sadly. And it's not buffering where I'm watching actually. They are coming! 3 more elephants. 77 on food, 99 on gold. What a flex, man. I guess that was 5 relics and map control can do for you. Reclaim map control. Bluegill found it justified to go for the 1600 food, 1200 gold Elite War Elephant upgrade. Oh, that's a one more. Fantastic. Amazing. So this time around, Bluegill got away with the boom and showed impressive map reclaiming by the Persians with the Persians here as well. Reading through the polls here. And now let's see. Pretty even KD, but the economy should show a significant lead for the Persians. Not to mention that almost 5,000 relic gold at minute 53 in the game. That's 5,000 extra gold that John Nash doesn't have access to. Never contested the relics in the middle. And also didn't go for the full. Did drop a monastery, but didn't contest the middle. So arguably that monastery could have gone into a town center or folwarks and farms for a better boom instead. More villagers for the Persians, no big surprise there. I wonder what happened over here, but that's fine. We're going to a game 3 and at least a game 4, maybe a game 5. Wouldn't know yet. Let's see. Let's repeat the rules here. And we might see Britain's mirror again here actually, because Britons are in that one. It's either Goths, Britons, Franks, or Celts. So let's see what they go for here. Goths, Celts! Lovely! Battle of the Infantry Sibs, so no Britons. Happy to see that, actually. So let's go. In the interest of... oh, that's close. Yeah, that's too far. Let's speed it up a little bit, because Arena... We here have Bluegill with the Celts here. Maybe he has some Wang-style shenanigans planned here with a siege push, or just boom into the Celts Imperial Age Deathfall. But he can't leave John Nash alone to boom here, because we have the Goths here, and they have an amazing Imperial Age with their endless infantry spam with a civilization bonus with 20% faster barracks and a unique technology in the Imperial Age to boost that even up to 120% total, I believe. And to add that, they have conscriptions as well, so almost instant infantry creation. Don't allow Goths to get to that point, which is easier said than done on Arena, but I'd say Bluegill needs to apply some solid early pressure here. Celts, however, get full infantry upgrades, and the Celts infantry also move 15% faster. So the Celts infantry can catch up with the Goths infantry units if need be. We'll see how they choose to play this. Just 3 seconds difference in the idle times here, so that's nothing too significant to mention. They're just chasing each other here in that progression. Both going up at 26 population here, 25 villagers. John Dash wants that castle up and go for some, yeah, at least for a defensive castle and for the unique technologies for Goths, but maybe for Huskal push as well, or some way to deal with the Celts plans here, we'll see. Bluegill, again, with the Blacksmith stable here, wants to contest the map again, and has taken the first hit to the scout here, but slightly earlier, and takes that scout's fight, and wins. You hit once, and you hit me 2 times in Dark Age, so I had 4 and you 5. I was attacking first. Oh, he knew. Bluegill, Mr. Smarty Pants, knew that he would win the Scouts fight. We are approaching the Castle Age. Let's see what that brings us. John Nash with Spearmen out. They are cheaper for the Goths as well. No second town center, no wood for that, whereas Bluegill could add 2 because he is collecting wood faster with the Celts bonus, 15% faster or whatever it is. So Bluegill with the second town center here is already setting up for the boom, so no 1 TC all-in madness siege Huang style here for Bluegill playing it slightly more safe. Both with a 1-3, but Bluegill completing it slightly earlier. And going for some knights here, actually. So I think that's a good call, because knights should win, even if spearmen are the counter unit to cavalry play. Knights are winning 1-on-1 like this. There's the second and third town centers for both players. Bluegill, I was assuming he might have had a head start here to the villagers, but that's marginal. He's queuing 2 builders, as John Nash isn't currently queuing builders of the new town center. Yeah, Bluegill is going to assume a little boom lead here. And that's not one that's going to be a win though. Scout versus Spearman. That's not a good one. And who's going to be first? It's a relic. The relic race. Relic race. Nice. Using the spear here to force the monk to try a conversion. But he gets it. He gets it. But now what? Where's the knight? The knight died apparently, or got converted, deleted. Spearman will chase, but at least the relic now is going closer to Bluegill's base, making it easier for Bluegill to claim it with the next monk popping out here. John Nash managed to secure 1 relic though, which is significant here. It's with 3 on stone as well, so that castle is not too far off after having dropped 2 town centers. Bluegill not mining stone at all, presumably relying on late game siege and infantry here with the Celts. Ah, yeah, I forgot to pick up the relic. Yeah, happens. Oh, free relic for Bluegill after all then. Here he comes. Gum. So apparently related to the relics, I guess. 2 relics to 3 though, so no, not like the previous games here for Bluegill getting all 5 relics. Oh, stream buffering a bit, sorry about that. Can't really do much about the local internet conditions here. John Nash, in a sense, has the middle presence here now with the armies, but oh, 3 monks here. They could convert all 3 spears if John Nash doesn't pay attention here. These 2 civilizations, neither of them get redemption, so they won't be able to convert enemy siege. And I don't think either of them get atonement either, so they can't convert each other's monks. 4th town center for Bluegill. Extending on the economy lead here. Some of that mine stone goes into that DC, while John Nash will at some point be dropping a castle here. Is now only missing 20 stone to do so. Getting sanctity for the monks. I'm not sure how that applies now. They can't. Oh, Bluegill is gonna use the monks to scout again. He's just gonna pass John Nash's monks here because they can't convert each other. They're both missing the relevant technology to do so. So now he's placing the monks with their fantastic line of sight out again. Could probably convert this spearman, shouldn't be a problem. Depends on RNG though. Easy. Easy. And then you found... Douchebag is converting the spearman and just kills it. Just kills it. Wanted to get the monk convert monk sect. Yeah, but you don't have it, right? So now the spearman gonna be donated here. And here we go. Go! Now it makes sense to kill it because it can't be reconverted. Maybe that was the case over here as well. Here comes the University for John Nash and is aiming for the earlier Imperial Age again over Bluegill, who is booming like a madman with 4 TCs here and establishing a solid villagers and economy lead. And Late King Celts, that's a danger to the Goths as well. This is a... Well, John Nash has the middle control again here. He's going to drop a town center now in the middle here to secure this gold, if even temporarily here. And the Bluegill just doesn't mind that. It's just doing its own thing and booming at home here. Won't be too much delayed to the Imperial Age compared to the opponent here either. Siege Workshop Monastery rather than University. I'm not sure if the Celts had something applying to the university. I think if they get chemistry, that's relevant for some siege weapons, but yeah, it's going to be some kind of infantry siege push here. Lots of barracks coming up now. And I think I saw men-at-arms. Yeah, so it's going to be champions. Good call against Goths. If you want to stop the Goths from stop the Goths infantry spam, the Huscarls, the Albert here is the champions. You need to go into champions of your own if you have them. And as mentioned earlier, Bluegill with the Celts also gets better upgrades. So getting town watch for further vision on the map. That's not going to reveal the castle over here, but that could be a siege rammed down by the Celts later anyway. John Nash is using the Spearman to collect some intel on the map, maybe delay these builders from completing the buildings as well. But quite a few of the barracks already up. Bluegill still not going to do the Imperial Age, just boom. Oh, never mind, there it is. It was queued behind something. Defensive castle at home. We'll need the castle, among other things, for the unique technology for the Celts for the siege. To grant the Celts siege weapons extra hit points, I think. Yeah, so he's queuing the men-at-arms, he's using the men-at-arms to clean up the spears. And John Nash doesn't have a whole lot of army just yet. He's adapting here, he's seen the infantry stuff. Yeah, deny the barracks, yeah. Adapting to the infantry investment of the Celts here. Goths do get bombard cannon, but I don't think that's the play here. I think the idea is maybe to add some scorpions to yeah, to weaken the enemy infantry units. John Nash now with 200 swordsmen, using that earlier Imperial Age to get to the better infantry here. Maybe Goths have a chance here after all. But Bluegill has more barracks, is out producing here and will be clicking 200 swordsmen first thing when the Imperial Age is in. Missing the upgrades actually, missing +1 and +1 in the attack and defense here. And Celtic longswords, while they move faster, they shouldn't be a match for John Nash's 200 swordsmen. He is pulling back, but probably just to regroup with the rest of the units here. Trebs focusing down production buildings here, not stressing breaking into Bluegill's base. They're gonna limit the production capabilities of the Celts here as Bluegill just keeps dropping barracks further out here. Yeah, definitely too few barracks for the Goths here. 4 barracks producing now. Sure, the Goths produce quickly, but doesn't look like perfusion is in either. Then they would produce a lot more quickly. Bluegill with the Celt Scorpions, they fire faster, they are nasty, and that's a surprisingly good engagement, even outmatched in upgrades here. Is it not going to get 200 swordsmen? That has to be queued behind longsword somewhere here. No way! Alright, he's not getting it yet. Are the stats that comparable? 9 plus 1 to 12 plus 1? No. But Bluegill has the numbers, that's something, but he should be getting 200 swordsmen and the appropriate upgrade as well. For now, the numbers are helping him out though. Lovely addition of the scorpions there. Lost the monastery and the relics, but he's just going to relocate them further back, so that's not a concern here. Bomber cannon is out. That's a good addition against the masses of scorpions here. One lucky hit and you take out, yeah, 3 scorpions just like that. Why do Goths even get bomber cannon? But they do. So let's see the okay champion on the way for the Goths here. 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks. Production speed. Not convinced here at numbers. Celts, fast moving infantry. Better upgrades if he has them. He doesn't really, but he's matching the upgrades of John Nash here until champion kicks in, which is good of Bluegill. Maybe he's not stressing that upgrade until he sees John Nash has it. Then you could conserve more resources. Well, here it comes actually. Here comes the last defense upgrade. That's nice. That's the one Goths are missing. Trebuchet is out. I think Celts have faster firing trebuchets as well, which certainly helps. Scorpion, Treb, Goths, Barracks spam here contesting the... Celts. Barracks spam contesting the Goths here. And while that Mangonel is scary, I think Bluegill is going to pull away in time and the 200 swordsmen will take it out. Yep. It's only one trebuchet for now. Champion is on the way, Cap Ram is on the way, so we will see Celtic Siege Ram here eventually. And uh-oh, pathing issues. Now John Nash still with one, yeah, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 barracks with the Goths here. Yeah, they produce quickly, but not that quickly when the Celts player has, yeah, at least a few more barracks here. Here comes the ram trains, 7 capped rams and increasing. Champions could deal with that rather quickly though, but the Celtic champions here, they have better upgrades, they have the last armor, they're getting last attack as well. And given the numbers here, we have more champions for Bluegill here, while the, yeah, ram train moves forward. Siege ram, not in on the way in yet, but siege engineers to benefit. I think that adds to the scorpions as well, adding 1 extra range. And, get it. Yeah, champions chasing here. 69 on food for Bluegill, so that should mean that Siege Ram might be affordable soon as well. It doesn't garrison any champions inside the Rams, but however, the castle should be going down here. No builders around for John Nash to repair, and the finally scrambling up some more barracks here, but it feels, I feel like it's a bit too late here too. And yeah, I guess the Eco supports more barracks, but it's gonna lose some of them now, while Bluegill keeps pumping out champions out of the many barracks here, 10 of them. And let's see Bluegill scouting. It doesn't really see the buildings going up to the side here, but here comes a castle. That's in danger actually with the Ghost Barrack. Yeah, he bails on it. He's gonna place it somewhere else. Now some panic repairs for John Nash here, but the Celts champions are doing work here. Faster firing they are as well. I think it applies to all siege weapons of Celts. And now the castle goes down. John Nash is left defenseless, and that castle is just even more aggressive. And Bluegill doesn't seem to worry too much. It's going to come a couple of champions over here. Can he quick wall them out? He could stone wall them out, but yeah. Oh yeah, supplies exist. uh, yeah, Bluegill forgot supplies. He's been wasting a lot of gold. No, food, sorry. What is it? Food or gold? Anyway, wasting a lot of resources. If he'd gotten supplies earlier, it had saved a lot. It doesn't seem to matter too much, though. It's 200 pop to 117 here. Even if gods essentially get plus 10 pop space in the Imperial Age, that's not going to save John Nash here. This is a solid late game Celts push here. Very dangerous. And Cannoneers added good addition by John Nash here, but he's never going to get the crucial mass here. As Bluegill is getting hoarding for the castle as well, he's going to complete this one, render these production buildings useless, and now roaming in with the champions here to conclude the game and take a 2-1 versus John Nash here. Unless something spectacular happens. I see the hand Cannoneers numbers increasing here. Is Bluegill getting too confident? I honestly don't think so. He never got into Siege Ram though, which is a bit peculiar. But the Cat perhaps are doing work as well, for sure. GG is called. Bluegill takes a 2-1 here. And let's just repeat rules here, because I want to see. Well, see if I said. For the next game, we'll have Mongolians, Persians, Tatars, or Huns. But first, a look at the statistics. 287 to 175 kills here for Bluegill. Lots of infantry and some siege here. Economy shows. Uh-oh, my overlay is actually blocking a little bit of it, but I think you can. Okay, I never thought of that. That actually blocks a little bit of this. I need to do something about that. Anyway, technology uptimes show as tight as they can be here. 2 seconds apart in the feudal age. You can't see the cast age because of my freaking overlay, but it's 5 seconds apart to the cast age. And John Nash with 2.5 minutes earlier Imperial Age to the Goths, but didn't have enough barracks basically to make full use of that advantage. You know what, let me move that overlay while I can over here. Maybe here or something. Stat. No, that's gonna cover the stat screen. That's not gonna work. Dang it. It's gonna be over my head then. I'm gonna minimize it a little bit. Sorry about this. I didn't realize it was blocking important stuff. Let me just confirm that it doesn't look too crazy. That should be hopefully tolerable. So, to the game number 4 between these two players, we have a new civ pool to choose civilizations from. And we'll see if they can outsmart each other with whatever they're doing here. Game 4, Cloud Arena, Mongolians, Tatars. Okay. Yeah, cats don't have faster firing infantry, but they move faster, and that's fantastic against Goths, to be honest, because you'll keep up with the spam easily. You could always catch up with the units. Japanese also a good call against Celts, of course, because they have faster attacking infantry, but Celts have faster moving infantry. All right, I'm gonna have to be right back. So I'll get back to you. Quick bathroom break for me while the players are setting up their economies. All right. So game number 4, we have a John Nash versus Bluegill again. Of course, Bluegill is housed. What's he doing here? He's doing Bloom because he gets housed. And yeah, not something you usually do on Arena, but at some point you'll be getting Loom anyway. The thing with getting Loom on Arena is that it will force you to collect more gold to get to the Castle Age, because you'll need 200 gold for that. So it's a bit of an unfortunate event, but it's also better than leaving the PC running idle for essentially forever. So what the Tatars have here, they're not your go-to arena civilization, but they have some things. If you research Timur Siege Crafts, the unique technology of the Tatars, you have trebuchets with +2, not twice the range, but +2 range, which can come in handy in fights against castles and tribes and whatnot, because the other trebuchets won't be able to range you. I'm seeing that as a potential tactical advantage here. Bluegill going to be a bit later to the next age here after having slight idle TC time due to being housed and also getting Loom for that reason. So, but all in all, it's a slightly later. It's like 1 minute later to the next age here. It didn't drop a barracks yet, so it might be that Bluegill doesn't want to contest the map at all here because of the later uptime here. Here comes the blacksmith market. I think Bluegill will be going straight into the boom, while John Nash will be maybe doing some siege tower longswords shenanigans here. It's the blacksmith market, and now the barracks. It's probably just for middle control again and to contest the relics, but we'll see. Double Vitax is in, they're getting their eco upgrades. Bluegill 1 minute behind or so to the cast age in the end. Let's see what John Nash is after. Here comes the 1-3. Yep, gonna contest the middle. Bluegill does not, because he knows he's 1 minute behind and will already be struggling to keep up with the army and the numbers and whatnot. Oh, the cast stage is in, and Bluegill certainly has the wood for 2 town centers here, no problem. Should have no problem seeding the farms here. Still has sheep to eat because Tatars get 50 food extra per sheep as they come. And once the town center is complete, they will spawn 2 sheep instantly as well. Used to spawn two sheep in the feudal age once you're there as well. So Tatter's eco is good for arena. Actually, you're right there. Yeah, a couple of extra sheep delays your farms, your need for farms. You could spend the wood elsewhere. On other maps, Tatars would go for. Yeah, he's actually getting the sheep. On other maps, Tatars would actually go for mass cab archers, but that might not necessarily be the play for arena, as there aren't any hills to pull back to or anything, but it still could be viable, I guess. But Maldians, how do they deal with that? They have infantry with extra pierce armor that comes to mind. John Nash is free to collect the relics here, so Bluegill will have to contest the map later on here, but he's shown that he's capable of doing so. So much would saved though, not needing to seed a lot of farms. These extra sheep, that's 300, 600 extra food here for these 2 town centers. Hello, Bluegill. Picking Tatars from the Sib pool. Tatars Huns. What did I say? Tatars Huns. Malians, Persians, Tatars, or Huns. Yeah. Flying crates, I'm no arena player, so I can't really answer that, but I think Bluegill this time is not contesting the relics because he knows that he is more than 1 minute later to the cast stage, and that just makes it a lot more awkward to do so. So he's rather playing into the strengths of the Tatars with the economy, extra food for sheep, easier boom, wood savings, and then rather play the eco advantage and claim the map back later in the game. But we've seen quite a few games today where I would say that the relic gold mattered a lot for the player. holding 5 relics to 0. That late game gold trickle. Quite important. We won't see a Castler, maybe we'll see some Keshiks. Tatar's Gold Horse. But currently I'm mainly playing the Boom game. John Nash is winning the relics here, is picking up most, if not all of them. And yeah, it's gonna be 5 relics, I think, for John Nash, no problem. If he sends the monk back, that is, but sometimes you forget to ask the monk back. Feeling confident now, going for a town center out on this stone as well. Why not the gold? Why the stone? House formation, yeah. It's blocks of 6 by the looks of it. Very symmetrical setup here, except for this, maybe. Not only low elo players make houses like that, or pros, no in between. You know, you can, for maximum symmetry, you could turn the houses with the mouse wheel, I think, as well. At least there's some way to turn them, if you're very, very picky about it. Is John Nash going to use all 4 town centers? He is, so he might actually catch up in builder count here to Bluegill. But then again, Bluegill with 3 town centers and currently not anymore might also be thinking about a faster Imperial Age here to use that advantage with the Tatars here. We'll see. This time around is John Nash placing outposts aside. We've seen Bluegill use army units to like monks and scouts to have this vision, but John Nash here with the outpost to try and see what's going on. We'll see the range though, which should mind games, mind games. I love it. Oh, I love it. It shows the shows the range here in within range of the outpost, and then it goes for a stable instead, and then the range is in the back, but. Okay, so maybe not a surprise or mind games at all. I still like it. Still like how it deletes the range and tries to hide that is its ranges, but that is not. But now John Nash sees that there's a stable here. Will not see the ranges in the back. Might expect a stable play. In which case, actually the Malians could go into camels either way, because Farimba camels, if they catch up with the Tatar Scav Archers, they will be doing good with their extra attack. +5 attack. Malian's unique technology gives all of Malian's cavalry units +5 attack. That's why they are lacking, and that among one of the reasons why they are lacking the last attack upgrade. We see supplies and longswords here for John Nash. So John Nash wants to go Malian champions, which have ridiculous pierce armor, and it's something you'll need a significant chunk of Tatar Scav Archers to even remotely deal with here. And it's a good play, because Tatars, they only get that first defense for the infantry. I think they still get at least 200 swordsmen, but they lack a lot of defense. So they may stop with that. Yeah, I'm saying Malian champions. So lots of the nicknames and maybe things I don't use purposefully. Champions call kind of cool. Shab Skulls. I'll buy that. It's kind of cool. What's the Pierce armor? Think it's 7 plus 7 or 7 plus 6. I can't remember. 1 plus 7, of course. Yeah, yeah. Well, much more pierce armor than the standard ones, anyway. Gas is out. First Trebuchet is out. Not too sure about the Tatars. Yeah, cavalry archers for sure, but you won't. It's gonna take you. You're gonna struggle taking out Malian's champions with the extra pierce armor with cav archers alone here. I guess you could go Cavalier or even Hussar actually, because Tatars have pretty decent Hussars. But I think you need a double gold combo here, as Tatars don't have any good infantry of their own. You will need another option. So maybe some more stables and Knights Cavaliers here. Imperial Age is in for Bluegill. Gold mining coming in just now, but cavalry archer numbers increasing, getting bracer important for range and attack. Not sure how I beat him to Imperial Age in every game. Nah. I think it's because of the... Not for this game in particular, but in the other games Bluegill played more town centers and a bigger boom, and that delays your Imperial Age. Because I'm not the clown. True as well. Okay, it's actually one shooting the longswords at least. Let's see for the two-handeds. It's getting tougher, and here comes the last armor as well. Defensive castle might go down. And John Nash tries to push along, establishing good middle presence here. And the castle goes down, and Bluegill panic revolts here to make sure that John Nash doesn't get in too easily here. Bomber cannons are out there. I forgot Malians even got those, but they have good options in the Imperial Age as well. It's a slow push, but that works well on tight arena maps like this. 31, 200 swordsmen now, and Bluegill just patiently massing up on the cav archers and adding ramps as well. Maybe to delay the infantry push here. Just for fun. Yeah, still here. Whoa, you just played a team game against the ranked number 10 TG player in the world. Oh, yeah. Yeah, ranked TG is weird. Oh, you beat his ass, of course. You crushed him. So no heavy cavalry yet, but mostly other upgrades. What do we have? We have 2 bomber guns and 2 trebs here as the cavalries dive in. Oh, just in time to deny this castle. Perfect! Perfect! Another unfinished castle for John Nash here. He does have 2 more in the back though, so he shouldn't struggle to make any more trebuchets here if need be. Has the bombard cannons mixed in as well, so Bluegill can't really keep the cav archers too tightly packed here, because then the bombard cannons could get some sneaky hits in. I don't know why John Nash is firing at the gold mine here. Maybe he hopes to deplete the gold through hits there. Oh, the castle actually goes up. That's bad news for the cav archers. And I don't know if the Rams just don't understand that they should target this castle or what's going on here. But it's basically the option Bluegill has right now to take out castles. He doesn't have a castle of his own to produce trebuchets, so he's under heavy duress here right now. Tatars get siege ram, so that is also an option here given the current food count. But this looks like an incredibly strong Malian's push here, which the Tatars might struggle to deal with as well. Because Tatars don't have great infantry of their own. Bluegill is insisting upon the infantry here, and you'll see it takes 2 volleys for almost 50 cav archers to take out 1 champion here. It's ridiculous. 1+7 pierce armor, that's the answer to the question from earlier. Bluegill sits underneath the castle fire here to take in the trickles of units. but we'll be losing more terrain. And this castle is a beautiful castle by John Nash as well to deny quite a bit of the wood income here. But if you look at the units for its champions, takes a long while to get into food and gold to research to produce. We have trebuchets, we have bombard cannons, we've had, yeah, that's about it. But that's lots of gold. But it does have the relics gold to support it though, so that could be the one of the reasons behind the investments here. Nice snipe, bombard cannon snipe by Bluegill there. More cap rams enter. Still no siege ram, but must be other priorities at work here. Not enough cap rams here to take out the castle alone. Some good repairs for John Nash. Also 7 stone miners here. Look at all the red on the map. He has so much control over the map now. So safe, just safely moving, mining stone in the back here, and it's rough. 5 ranges producing cavalry archers for Bluegill in the back here. There are 6 total, but the gold is about to become an issue, losing this gold mine here. Still some gold in the back, and for short periods you could rely on the market to trade as well. But fact remains, Bluegill is being pushed further and further back here. John Nash takes a second game, and 300 elo below or not, John Nash is showing promise here before the last game, which will be random civ and mirror. So we'll have a mirror matchup for the sake of fairness and evenness. But the elo gap might show more in this case. We'll see. It's also a long long stretch to play a best of 5 like this, so players could be tired already, which can impact decision making. And yeah, you know, we're gonna have a game 5. Teuton's Mirror, are you kidding me? There are 39 civilizations in the game, and we are getting a Teuton's Mirror. One of the freaking best civs in the end. This might actually be fun. I hate mirrors normally, but Teuton's Mirror, that could be cool. Oh, tell me you're doing a tower rush now, Bluegill or John Nash, just to end it. I'm gonna speed it up again because Arena and Dark Age build up. I just don't know what to talk about. I could talk a little bit about the civilization, not the civilizations, but the civilization here. Teutons. Unique technology. Crenellations gives castles +3 range. The other unique technology, Ironclad, gives siege weapons extra armor. Teutons strongly defensively slow, but good defensive civilization. Good boom as well. Their farms are discounted to by 40%. So you have an easy boom with the Teutons. Their melee units get +1 melee defense added as a civilization bonus in the Castle Age, and another +1 in the Imperial Age. So Teutons cavalry or infantry, you don't mess around with those. They are actually very tanky in terms of melee defense. Now there aren't really any advantages to exploit here, since it is a mirror matchup. They have access to the exact same technologies and stuff here. Bluegill is going up 1 population ahead of John Nash here. The idle TC times are at a basic minimum here. But Bluegill will be beating John Nash to the feudal and castle ages, presumably here. Which means head start to the relics contest yet again here in the decider game. I'm saying Bluegill beats John Nash to the castle age, but that's not the case. Food count a bit off for Bluegill here, so John Nash actually with a tiny head start, even with the higher. Wait, it's not higher. And he lost the scout. Sorry about that. Didn't pay attention here. We could slow it down a bit now. So he lost the scout fight. Again here, Bluegill knows when to take the scouts fight and not, apparently. So slightly later to the castle age, yes. But 1 population higher and more army on the field currently. Rip Scout. No more Auto Scout for Bluegill. So you see now the units have +1 melee armor without any research at all. Eh? Oh, yeah, it's not up yet. Sorry. I was wondering why I didn't get +1 melee armor, but there we go. Bonus 3 is going up for both the players, of course. Bluegill... Yeah, they're both rushing it up with 2 villagers. They really want the relics here. Don't want to give the other player the relics advantage. And they're also both dropping their 2 TCs. It's just a mirrored approach at this point, except for the fact that Bluegill went up at 1 villager higher. And has a tiny, tiny, tiny villager lead because of that. Is that a knight, which I like. John Lash does not have any stable here. So with the knight out, yes, it could get converted, but as you know, as we know, Teutons have conversion resistance, so it's easier said than done, and it's also a good means to deal with enemy scouts, cav, or even spearmen because knights will win 1 versus 1 against spearmen, even though they are lacking some yeah, losing some hit points along the way. That being the Express Finance, of course, John Nash. Yeah, he's a solid arena player. He's playing against Bluegill here, who, in terms of current elo, is 300 elo points ahead. But arena is a specialized map, and Bluegill has admitted to not being a clown. So maybe they're more evenly matched than we think. And I also happen to know that Bluegill had some vaccine after effects, I think, the day this game was played. Or just hangover. You had beer the day before as well, I think, Bluegill, so maybe that was that was it. But you know, it's not something you need to say, but something that might even it out a little bit. I'm a little arena clown. Beer gap. Indeed. So what are we looking at here? What? Was that a conversion? How? Alright, good engagement. Ah, I was playing on a laptop, yeah. Okay, so maybe an extra handicap then, if that's the case. Doesn't matter, we've had some good games. I like that. I like that it evens out like that, and we actually have a fifth game here. The other 2 sets were also arguably even, but they didn't go to 5 games, let's say that. I hate playing on my desktop. I'm much better at laptop, actually. I prefer, except for the sheer size of the screen, I prefer playing on a laptop. Alright, some more Monks Micro over here. John Nash managed to snag 1 relic, but that's going to be the only one. I've been having this desktop since July now and still misclick keys. I really hate playing on a proper keyboard. I like the laptop keyboard better, it's more compact. Started on a PC back in 2004. Hey Joey, I beat you to it. I played a lot of AU2 from 2002 to 2004. That was my prime time. I played lots of Black Forest boomy games with Vikings, Britons, and Franks exclusively. I didn't even know, barely knew that other sims existed. And then I had a big break. I got back to AU2 in 2019 by chance. Of course, I realized there was an HD edition. I just never played it online. No rush. 50 pop, 30, 100 plus, yeah, something like that. Yeah, I was booming with Britons because the TC I played on AOK 2.2.0 in 2002, and with the 2.2.0A patch, they tweaked it so TCs started costing 100 stone, but on the 2.0 patch, TCs didn't cost stone at all, so you could boom like crazy with town centers costing only wood. So it was amazing. I missed that. That's how I learned to boom. And there didn't exist any select all TC hotkey back in the day then, so you had to go like this all the time and use your villager hotkey and Q villager. I still do it by habit. Still do it by habit. And there were other things severely wrong with those patches. I mean, these lobbies on Amazon Zone, you'd have Teuton's banned always in the title because Teuton's town centers had twice the range of generic ones. I think that applied to their towers even as well. Twice range of the towers. Ridiculous. Korean siege holders with 8 plus 5 range. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even realize Koreans existed. Uh-oh. Nugel is cleaning up here. Yeah, then you had Turks bombard towers. They were basically unbeatable, I think. Because they even killed rams back in the day. It does the same kind of amount of damage to rams as to unit and buildings. And yeah, stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. Oh, they got more range. Yeah. But then also, Franks were more OP back in the day as well, if you ask me, because Bloodlines didn't exist, so Franks were the only cavalries with extra hit points, and Halberdiers didn't exist. So if you got to Imperial Age Franks and Paladins, that was basically a win for you. We're booming here. 4 TCs for John Nash this time around, but some idle TC time as well. They are both going Imperial Age, but Blue Guild with only 3 town centers here. Yet a healthy farming economy will be beating John Nash by roughly a minute to the next stage here. He's going for the cavalry, while John Nash goes for the pikes and halberd here. May or may not have seen the cavalry investment. Yeah, it's a guess games here at this point, but it's a good call. Since he'll be able to queue halberdiers and maybe hold off this cavalry push. Bluegill has not been, well, is now currently mining stone, but has not been mining stone to drop a castle, so we won't be seeing any trebuchets yet from Bluegill. John Dash, however, is dropping the castle here, and will be able to do like a siege, halb siege kind of push here with the trebs and halbs, maybe to hold off the cavalry here. But they have the same civilization, so you could always make some switches as well. They haven't gotten around to any significant upgrades yet. Bluegill sees the castle going up and Bax gets out of here because doesn't want to use knights needlessly, of course. Here comes the siege, and last armor for the knights as well. Only pikeman for John Nash currently, actually not really, unless he could. Yeah, he's getting help, but it doesn't have the numbers yet of the pikes here, so that could be a concern. Yeah, stop talking about the score. It's not that significant. But yeah, it's 1,000 points difference in score. KD plays in, upgrades research plays in. We could actually have a look at that right now. Research count, identical. Exploration plays in, and then it's the KD probably as well. So with yeah, I never pay much attention to the score unless I'm in a ginormous lead. I love the Scorpions edition because that's going to render the halbs less efficient here. And +1, is that the attack? Should be that. Wait, here comes Siege Engineer, so that's going to boost the attack here. I think it's gonna help out for the traps as well, plus 1 range on the traps. Turbo Chase. Bomb cannons are out because chemistry is already in. And now, John Nash, what do you do against this? Here come the Cavaliers, and the Helms are taking some serious hits here to the Scorpions. Bluegill not over investing. He's making 8 Scorpions here, and still has some Cavalier here to snipe, for example, bomber cannons from John Nash or other stuff like that. Who needs traps when you have bomber cannons, actually? They have 12 plus 1 range. Not quite as far as the traps, but still more than decent. And as we see from the stone count, Bluegill will be able to drop a castle soon as well. Might go over here or something if map control permits. Love how John Nash is securing the side here with the castle. But Bluegill is going to be pushing this side. If this castle goes down, that leaves Bluegill in a good spot to break through raid with the Cavaliers. And the Scorpions are already here to weaken the Helds. And as you do that, they can't... Yeah, that range and the shooting through units for the Scorpions, that's just so good at diminishing infantry HP and makes it more viable. If you have to fight them with cavalry, you can do so when they've been weakened. Helps out a lot. Let's see the engagement. Yeah, not nearly enough damage here. The Cavaliers will be going down, I think. Maybe the bomber cannons. I mean, resource-wise, it's a fantastic trade for John Nash here because it's only sacrificing halberdiers here to the triple gold unit combo here of Bluegill. Bluegill kind of cleans up, but he's going to get a castle in the face here as well if stone permits. Looks like it. I don't know why there are villagers. Misclick probably. Should be halberdiers, not builders. Oh, oh, oh! Nice. Oops. Nasty castle there. Bluegill sat right on the foundation. Maybe sorry coming with the villagers moving forward here. Defensive castle going up. Do we have crenellations actually? Do we have the unique tech? No. Don't even have fletching here. Why would you go Cavalier students? Because you're Bluegill, I guess. Did have Scorpions though, but they are being fried as well. Okay, yeah, I guess the castle protects the area here. Because I'm not the clown. Trash is trash in Arabia. Yeah, looking promising for John Nash here now. Is the push going here with the Trebs gonna take down this castle eventually? No range or no fletching, no bodkin, no crenellations for Bluegill here, so no extra range help. John Nash just casually taking some of the gold to the side here as well. Halberdiers doing work. And we threw with some halberdiers here to shake up the... That's what I would say as well. That's definitely 100% what I would say as well. Congratulations to John Nash taking taking down another higher rated player here. As I said before, I've casted John Nash beating Oladeshek 2-1 in the tournament setting as well. I also think Cavalier could work for Bluegill because he was earlier to the not much earlier, but a little bit earlier to the Imperial Age, and he hid away all the stables. He couldn't see them. John Nash couldn't see them, and you don't expect Cavaliers in the Teuton's mirror. So that could be something. And of course, not being in tip-top shape on the day also shaves a bit off like that, a bit off that elo gap potentially, as it will affect decision making and playing in that sense. So, but congratulations, yes, to John Nash here for actually winning the winning his group, the group B, and taking the winner of the group A, which is Bluegill. Solid stuff. Great performance. Fun games as well. I love that that we got a 5-game series to end it here, even though it means I'll be live for hours and hours. Very fun. Back and forth. It's even like an even match, and we like that.